So welcome back to the podcast. Phil, I can't remember what episode we're on. I think it's 15 of season 2. Still going. How you doing?
I'm very well, mate. Yeah, quite enjoyed. We've just done the podcast. Quite enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
One of my favourite people, apart from you, obviously. And then, quite entertaining. It's been a good evening, Tom.
Been a great evening, and I'm not liquored that much today, which is good, which is a good change. No game for the ones again this weekend.
No game. The NLD have done their best to fuck the cup up. So, yeah, we are fixture free, which is in a way quite nice because it's Super Saturday in the Six Nations.
It is indeed.
It also means I'm probably going to be expected to look after my own children. So,
it might, which is a bit of a sad thing as a parent, isn't it?
Yeah, I wonder whether I might sort of throw some seeds out to the lads and see if we could have all the kids at my house and we can all watch the.
Oh, that is a thing.
Yeah.
I know Winchester's been booked.
Ooh.
But I mean, the kids liked the Winchester last time, but it's an 8 o'clock. So if you can get someone to pick them up before 8 for England, then you're all toasty. Just give the Daddy Egg a call. But as we've just spoken to one of our favourite people, Big Dog, you played Bridgnorth at the weekend.
You did.
Looked like I was following Twitter when I could. It looked like it was a busy game.
Yeah, well, thanks for your support as ever, Tom.
I was playing a tens tournament, which is a joke in itself. But
it was a really good game. Pretty close for the first 30. And the tries started flowing a bit, and I think they were 3-1 up in terms of tries. And we ended up being about 12 points down with about 20 to go, 15 to go. And I think we scored two unanswered tries and one conversion to bring it back for a draw, the second draw against them of the season. 31 all that one ended. So, yeah, it was a great performance. We finally played some rugby that we can be really proud of. The lads really dug in. There was some cracking defence. We still came away from the game, even though we come away with 3 points against a very good team, saying, "Oh, we could have done better," which is good because you always need something to improve on. But there's massive scope, and we're still a phenomenally young side. Outside of the front five, that there's real positives for the club.
And I think it's nice. It would have been very easy after a string of some very disappointing results. I think the lads will happily say that disappointing is an understatement. But when you score so many and get 3 points out of it, it would have been very easy to come off and say we're back at where we should be. But it's nice for the people to acknowledge that they're coming off and go, actually, we probably could have done better there and still won.
We definitely left some stuff out there in attack and defence. So, rugby is quite a cruel sport, and you'll get punished for making mistakes on either side of the ball. So, the teams that make the least mistakes normally win.
Yeah.
And on the weekend, to be fair, both teams were as good and as bad as each other. So,
before we introduce our guest today, were there any standout performances for you at the weekend?
I think every try scorer was under 21.
Oh, amazing.
Which is a ridiculous stat. We scored 5 tries, and I think there was 5 different try scorers. That could be incorrect.
Didn't Jonty score?
No, he managed to butcher one, didn't he?
Oh, right. That might have been what I've seen on Twitter.
Yeah.
No, so that's a shame, isn't it?
Jack Taylor scored, Rimo scored, Cam scored, Josh
Alton-Smith
scored.
Who else was young?
Tom Davies.
He's young.
Yeah.
Little whippersnapper. That's good though. It's good for their little confidence boost as well, isn't it? To get over in such a high scoring game.
Yeah.
Nothing worse playing in a high scoring game when you're fast. Not that I've had this experience, but still not get over.
Yeah.
The try line. But yeah,
it was good. It was a fantastic result for us, and like I say, to score 5 tries and all those 5 tries to be scored by under 21s is pretty ridiculous in that level.
Yeah. It looks good for the future. But something that doesn't look good for the future is Big Dog's health. Chatted to Big Dog. We've just done it. He's always providing decent content.
Yeah, he's a bubbly character, isn't he? I think he's just an absolute goldmine for entertainment, isn't he?
Absolutely.
If it's not him, it's his body. If it's not his body, it's something else.
It's his doodleberries. I think he's very much someone that everyone would like to have at their club, regardless of ability, mainly on personality. Just because, although he is a very good player, personality is someone that is always going to light up a room. Shall we talk to Big Dog? No, pretend we're just about to talk to Big Dog.
Yeah, let's pretend that we should just about to talk to Big Dog. Yeah,
here's Big Dog. Right, so here we are with Big Dog. Big Dog, we didn't get you on the pod while you were at Pavs. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, well, good. It's good to see you. I heard some of the lads were hoping to see you at the weekend.
Yeah.
You've just described yourself as the water draining out of a radiator.
That's the one.
Are you feeling better?
Yes, much better, thank you now, yeah. Disappointed that I still couldn't come up, but there you go.
Yeah, he's happy because he's back to eating.
Yeah.
Back on solids.
Back on solids, yeah.
So you might as well start with where are you now? You're back down in Shropshire, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm back down in Shropshire now. Moved last year. Now it was during lockdown. Moved back from work at Cannock Chase, and then started playing for Bridgnorth again after that. Really,
is it nice to be back?
It is nice. It is nice to be back, but also on the flip side of that, I do miss Pavs really as well. So yeah, it's nice to go back to my old club and be back around the family and stuff. So, but yeah,
definitely.
Have you played for any other clubs, Tom? Dog. Because Tom asked me earlier. He was like, "Oh, what clubs has Dog played for?" And I went, "I don't fucking know. Like, I didn't even know his name for the first 2 years that he was at the club."
Just Bridgnorth and Paviors.
There you go.
Yeah, I've only played for 2 clubs. So yeah.
Yeah, it took me ages because I kept seeing you come up on my suggested friends on Facebook. Who's this Adam Blake? Some team sheets, it was just B Dog, wasn't it?
I don't think anybody at Paviors actually knows my real name apart from Nathan. And he still used Big Dog in the programmes.
Yeah, I thought that was min. So you might as well start at the top. How did you start playing rugby and when?
I started when I was 5 or 6 down at Bridgnorth as a young whippersnapper. Probably still the shape as I am now. Never really got out of the front row. I had a game at second row, I think, because I wasn't able to prop in the second teams because I was still 17, so I had to play second row. And that was about it.
That's as far back as you ever got.
Yeah, straight back into the front row as soon as 18 came.
At least you don't kid yourself. Some of our front rows still think they're backs, don't they? I mean, look at Lockie and Kieran. They're in the worst. They're in a hell of a bad shape, but they still think they're backs at heart, aren't they? Let's be honest.
Perfectly circular.
I mean, perfectly so. Lockie's more cuboid now. It's a bit weird. The fat cube. So you started at Bridgnorth and you made your senior debut in the row. That was your first game. Played 1 game in the row. What was it like propping? Do you remember propping for the first time against a horrible Shropshire bloke?
Not necessarily Shropshire. Back in those days, we'd play quite a few of the Birmingham sides. So Aston Old Edwardians and Old Salts and people like that. And yeah, they were horrible. Horrible to play against. So yeah, some of the games were, you just have to take it on the chin, literally, and get over it. I
was going to say, what's your earliest memory of senior rugby? Do you have one?
Yeah, probably. Actually, it was probably like Old Salts, or I can't remember if it was Aston Old Edwardians or Old Salts, and I just remember my mate's dad was playing in the front row with us, John Madden, and one of their second rows was trying to fill him in a ruck. And I tried to break it up and he just hit me square on the chin. He just looked up and got up and just hit me, and I thought I'd been hit with a baseball bat. A bit like training with Phil.
Oh, that's unjust.
When he tries to shot you.
It's normally after you've passed the ball from behind, and then he'll leave an elbow while you're on the floor as well. That's Phil's trademark.
Yeah, definitely.
Some people will just go for a full shoot. I mean, I've been hit by Ollie Hansen and Josh Hall blindside.
Yeah.
Just pests. I don't get it. Why? It's plain touch. We're not people like me and Dog aren't built for touch. You don't have to make it worse for us.
Not built for touch or running.
Or realistically, not much apart from the front five. So you've been fielded a few times and so on. But one thing Paviors, especially the first thing we'll know about is, well, the reason people from Pavs like Bridgnorth is obviously for yourself, but also the drinking side of things. We're going to go quite early into it because we've had some stories come through. But drinking down with the Bridgnorth boys, did you get on any tours or any big drinking stories that stand out?
Not really. Just apart from the usual stuff. We went on. I've not been on that many tours, to be fair. I've only been down to Newquay, and we didn't really play rugby. It was just a piss up for a weekend.
Proper tours.
I mean, the worst things that probably happened there was flaming arseholes. That was a good one. But no, apart from that, it's just we had a mind-boggling weekend bender once over the bank holiday at Bridgnorth. That was a good one. Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday night. That was good. Before children.
Yeah, it would have to be.
BC.
Can you imagine doing that now? Can you imagine?
No, I would just find the largest build, the biggest building I could find, and just throw myself off it, I think.
And bounce back up again.
Yeah.
Bollocks, it doesn't work.
God damn my space hopper appearance.
So we didn't touch on it. Talk us through a flaming arsehole. I mean, you can kind of imagine what it looks like, but I mean, we've all heard your arsehole pretty much in the showers. That noise that seems to come out as you decide to pick out 2 weeks ago's dinner. But how did the flaming arsehole?
It's just backdoor cleanliness, Tom. I thought a man of your caliber would know about that.
Yeah, but mine doesn't sound like I'm using a plunger on it, Dog. That's the difference. You meant to use it to unplug a toilet, not an arsehole.
Yeah, fair point. I just must have a massive arsehole.
It must.
It's just good technique.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, George has tried to replicate it now, but George is also prone to wiping the finger on you on the back sometimes if he's in a particularly good mood.
I can imagine there's been a fair few poo particles under the fingernails.
Oh, Jesus.
All got to start somewhere.
Yeah, preferably not under the nails, eh? I don't really know where to go after this. Oh, yeah, the flaming arseholes.
Flaming arseholes.
Yeah.
It was an initiation, really, for the Tour Virgins. So, obviously, well, I don't know what... I think people have different ideas of flaming arseholes, but essentially it's a piece of bog roll that's shoved up each other's bottom, dangles down to the floor or down by your knees, and you light it. And you've got to do your drink before he gets up to your bumhole.
I mean, yeah, but I wanted to know a bit more about it. You've just given me the instructions there. Well, I was also thinking if you're a tall lock, it might be a little bit easier than a short.
Yeah, if you're a little midget.
Well, yeah, I guess so. But you just got to chin your point quickly, haven't you?
Yeah, that's true.
Imagine making a short scum off, because I don't know many scum offs that can drink quick. Jonty would definitely have been.
No, I think there's, to be fair, Tom, I think there's quite a few scrum offs that drink quick. Ours does not.
I've just got a really small experience of
yeah.
Scum off drinking.
I think you have.
Yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? You got to chin your point as quickly as possible. and make sure you flick all the fire out your bum hair.
Crevice, yeah. Singed hairs are the worst as well. The smell is
the smell mixed with a gruff nut. or a Klingon, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, win it.
What do we used to call them? Oh, doodleberries. That's what we used to do. Tom, you're not clean to doodleberries. I don't know who ever said that to me, but it's definitely a phrase.
You and your mum had a real close relationship, didn't you?
Yeah, really, really close family. Yeah.
Your mum used to tell you to clean your doodleberries.
Probably because of the lack of toilet roll we used. I was very much two ply, one scrunch, give it a wipe, and hope for the best. I can't really concentrate because all I can hear in the back of my mind is you cleaning your arsehole. So, Nuki, flaming up. Let's move away from arseholes. Sorry for all the women which have been listening. So, Nuki's a good place. Phil, what's the worst initiation type thing you've done? Because flaming arsehole, I mean, most rugby players know what it is. I guess it's pretty tame, isn't it, really? You must have heard of some right and done some right bad stuff.
So my university, their initiation there. So your first away trip, you have to do 3 litres of white lightning.
Ooh.
Sing a song, tell a joke, all that on the bus. And then, without you knowing, they essentially steal your kit bag, strip you naked, and you have to run home from the sports ground, which is sort of a mile away from the centre of Durham, naked. But you get your shoes.
That's nice.
That's what you get. So mine was bad because obviously 3 litres of white lightning is not going to help anyone. But at least I got from Loughborough to Durham, which was like 2 hours 45 on the bus to do it in. Obviously, other people got like the 25 minutes to get from Newcastle to Durham to do 3 litres of white lightning. So that just came straight back up.
Yeah.
Also, then the run home or the run back was always a risk because obviously you didn't want to get caught by the police at absolute start bollock. And a few lads did. And I think inevitably that got stopped quite quickly. But I'd thought that there was one way you could just run down another road and you were back in the middle of Durham. Or I was like, well, I'll go through the woods because then no one will see me. But I got massively lost. It took me an hour and 15 minutes to get back. and there was no one there to get back to either. So I just ended up walking into my college absolutely naked.
Is that how dogging began?
Just still in the woods for so long after.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is a great idea. And then we just went totally the wrong way.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there's the story. Some of the worst stories I've heard. I've never had to run anywhere naked by force. I've done it kind of as a hobby every now and again. But ours was in a black bin. You stick your newbie in, fill it with alcohol, and they can't leave. And if they're sick or pissing it, then they obviously have to still consume the contents of the bin before.
Yeah.
Pretty old school standards.
It's a bit Loughborough Uni-esque. Loughborough Uni got in a lot of trouble for their initiations back in the day. Used to basically make you drink until you couldn't anymore, and then they'd lock you in a room with no toilet for the rest of the night.
Oh,
so
maybe.
Yeah, they got in a lot of trouble for that.
Yeah. Well, there was a varsity when I was at Trent. There was a varsity, or the year after, they cancelled a varsity because someone pooed in a sink somewhere. Might have been the library or something. Someone just had a poo in the sink. I was what I was listening to. I was listening to a different podcast this morning, but quite often poo and rugby players happens quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know what it is about us. We're not too body conscious, are we? Really?
No.
So
I think that's the thing about rugby is there's such a vast array of bodies that everyone is accepting of everyone else's body. You don't really like.
It's like marking your territory, though, as well, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like every stag do or something I've been on, someone's always pooed in the sink, like within half an hour of getting somewhere.
Never happened to the stag do's I've been on.
There's always a poo in the sink, or if it's a real posh hotel, the one where you wash your bum in. Because a mistake.
B-Day.
Yeah, to be fair, if I saw a bidet, I'd have a quick poo in it, because then you can just recreate that in between the sink, can't you? Just a little toilet.
So Dog, I'm gonna test Dog to see whether he knows who knows him. Okay, so Dog, we've got 4 little snippets about you here.
Oh,
right?
God.
We can discuss them individually, and then at the end, you need to tell us who sent us these stories. Okay.
Yeah.
So
the nervousness has come out there. There's a little.
Someone just put Big Dog is the first bloke naked on the bus despite his downfalls. It's the nicest way I've ever heard anyone call you fat.
I was thinking it was more to do with my small appenditure.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It works though, mate, doesn't it?
Mix the two together.
You can't say it anyway.
Looks like you've got a doodleberry.
And then another one is you said he's had the snip, so he can't have any more kids.
Yeah.
So there's a fact, ladies. Apparently in Bridgnorth, on a night out, a fight broke out, and you were so scared and worried that you ran around shouting, "Call the police! Call the police!" Now we've got to dig into this because that doesn't sound like you.
I know that is. Wow, there's a couple of people it could be.
So can you just go into that story a little bit?
It was as it is. Basically.
That's simple.
It's that simple.
Story.
It's that simple. And I think the words came out of my mouth once because I was just thinking, it's just going to be a death here. Somebody's going to die.
I mean, it is a medieval town. So,
yeah.
And then the final one was he dressed as a penguin, which his missus spent the day making to a fancy dress night, which turned out not to be fancy dress in the first place.
I've always dreamed of knowing someone that's happened to, because it's always something you see online, don't you? But never.
That genuinely as well, Becky had spent, 4 hours on this, and she did a really, really good job. Just plain black hoodie, and then we we made like a big, I think we made a nose and eyes out of pillows, and it looked really good, really simple, cheap. And I wore it, and I was the only one there in fancy dress as a fucking penguin.
This was at the Bridgnorth clubhouse.
Yeah, it was at the clubhouse. Yeah,
and you've walked in very happy with yourself, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, I think a few of us stayed after the game, and then it was meant to be a social, and then nobody else came in fancy dress, so I ended up just getting spannered as a penguin. And the worst thing is,
it wasn't tattooed on me.
It wasn't an expensive hoodie or anything like that, but I was damn sure I wasn't going to lose it because the amount of time that was taken on it. I actually think I reused it. I took all the penguin stuff off and reused it.
As a jacket.
I think you told me the penguin story the first night you came, or the first Saturday we had a game, because we went into Nottingham, or we went into Sherwood, definitely. You've told me that story. Yeah, that is brilliant. So who's giving us that gold?
That will be, well, it might be. Would it be Will Bedell?
No.
Somebody that still plays there?
No.
Oh. Don't know then, actually. That's
think mutual friends.
Mutual. Crossers.
The little pest he is.
You big pest. Yeah. Forgot about Crossers, actually. Yeah.
Easy to do. I like that. There's some. He's always good at providing content when we need him to, as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
I should have touched on this earlier. My editing's not good enough to put it back. But Do you remember Terry that played Pavs? Terry's first training session.
Yeah.
And what was your experience of playing touch against him?
You couldn't touch him.
What I've got here is Terry's first training session playing touch. I hear Big Dog go, fucking hell. And I turned around to see him slapped himself in the chest with both hands. And I said, what's up with you? And he said, well, he says about Terry, he was there pointing in front of him. Then he was there pointing to the left. And then he was there pointing to the right. And then he wasn't fucking there.
He just danced around me and then laughed.
And I'm not, and I can say this because I'm similar to you. I can't see our tiny appendages, but it's not very nice when someone, when someone can just go around you, just fucking go around me. Don't make me look like a tit. And he's done you 3 times.
Oh yeah, big start. I think he got to within like a metre radius of me as well, so I could have tapped him, but he was just like a little fly.
Fly around shit. Yeah. Another one. It's your doodleberries. Phil, we've spoken a lot about appendages today. Would you like to get your package out?
Yes. Right, Dog, I think you know the gist of this one. It's fast answer round, your speciality, speed. Red or green?
Red.
Favourite beverage?
Guinness.
Pavs or Bridgnorth?
I can't answer that.
No, quick one.
I can't answer that.
I mean, if I were you, I'd say Bridgnorth because you've been there since you were 6.
Bridgnorth.
Yeah, good answer. Worst job you could have?
Oh. Don't know.
Lifeguard.
Oh, no, it'd be great if you drowned.
You say that though, mate. When I was a teenager, I actually was a lifeguard.
Shut up.
Shit, you're not.
They didn't have any lifeguard rings, so they just used to use you as a buoyancy.
You stood on the side in orange and white.
Just like an Oompa Loompa, just floating around singing songs about chocolate.
I used to do the Saturday afternoon special inflatables. That was me.
You see people, someone was sat on the front of your stomach, someone would jump on the back of it and they'd fly off.
Little kids hanging onto the rafters.
What's your favourite rugby position?
Prop.
12.
Yeah, that's a bit easy for you. Last thing in your Google search history. Just so everyone knows, Becky is sat within earshot, so this could be interesting.
What was it? Lyme's disease.
No further questions, Your Honour. Best player to have played against?
Oh, I don't know, actually. What, positionally or just in general?
In general, I guess. I mean, I wrote the question, so yeah.
I don't know, really. I can't I'm considering I've been playing rugby so long, I'm quite shit at remembering stuff. I don't know.
You've got to play against someone good.
So, I don't know. Can't think now.
Okay, we'll let that one go.
Maybe come back to that. Let me have a think.
What sitcom character do you best represent?
Peter Griffin.
The Penguin.
Who's your favourite opposition?
Favourite opposition? Paviors.
And Jonty or Jim?
Jonty or Jim? Jim.
Yeah. Why did you have to think about it?
Yeah. No, Jim.
If we got who Jim was, let's be honest.
Who's your... I always think this should be a second... Sober, Jonty or Jim is quite an easy one, but drunk, sometimes I'd have to pick Jonty, you know?
No,
Jim just went through a phase.
At least you know where you stood with him.
If you're Rupert Skier lying on your back.
And also, to be fair with Johnny, there's only a pint between the two.
That was at the end of awards do, wasn't it? When Gin came in a pair of budgie smugglers.
Yeah, he'd been drinking all day, hadn't he?
That was great. That was.
Where had he been? Had he been at the races or something?
Yeah, he'd been at Sutherland, and we'd played NLD.
Yeah,
or a few of us played NLD, and we came straight from NLD, and he came straight from the races, and we were all sober, and he was absolutely battered. And
then he tried to batter someone.
Rupert
and Malk tried to batter him. I can't remember what happened. I can't remember.
Wasn't there a boxing glove that day or something?
No, that was a few years before.
There's been some very boozy end of seasons. What's the standard end of season do kind of itinerary at Bridgnorth, Dog?
I think basically very similar to Paviors. They have a big tent usually down the pitches, and then everybody just gets nailed. Basically, a few awards are given out. You have a meal, and then you get pissed.
Yeah,
basically.
Technicalities.
Yeah.
Don't really need anything else, do you?
No.
One thing before I want to go on, and we've not touched on it, and it's something that I've always looked up to you for. And not many people look up to you, to be fair, Dog. But when you woke up one day and you realised you were a viral sensation, sat in your armchair with your scrum cap on, how did that feel?
Amazing.
Did it? You were like, because every time, because I follow a few hashtags on Instagram and Facebook, and Prop Life is one of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hadn't seen it, and I'd seen you come up. You look like the happiest lad alive. For those who don't know, do you want to describe what the video was?
It was me sat in my front living room with, I think I had Stevie's like 2005 Paviors shirt on. In my Paviors shorts. So I was looking pretty honking. And I was just dancing to some music. Well, we'd won something, hadn't we? We'd
won the league.
Was that the league game?
No, I thought it was Pavs are staying up.
I know we'd stayed in the league, haven't we? It's COVID. Beginning of COVID.
That's it, yeah.
What's COVID?
That first year, wasn't it, March? Yeah. Well, we stopped playing in March 2020, didn't we?
Yeah. So we missed 4 games, and because of the way they did the rules of the league, so we stayed up.
Yeah, that's it.
So I mean, you're the Shropshire version or the Paviors version of Joe Marler, then, aren't you? Really?
I wouldn't categorise myself as astutely as that.
I mean, it's quite hard to categorise yourself in that, but in the terms of internet presence, you're obviously quite famous now. Do you get recognised?
No,
just
when I put my scrum cap on, instantly.
Is there? Are you asked to wear it in the bedroom?
No. I have to wear a full suit in my bedroom now. 2 kids, mate. Fuck me.
Just a latex suit. Oh.
He's got one of those privacy pants like Maid Marian in the film.
Yeah. Chastity belt.
God, I'd lose the key.
Even a slipper skin and I'm out of there.
Gosh, I wouldn't want to hear you cleaning your ass after wearing a chastity belt for so long. Phil, would you like to take worst or best rugby memory?
I'll take worst memory. What's your worst rugby memory, Dog?
Oh. Probably when it was years ago and we were playing Leek away I don't know, I can't remember the year now, but I was speaking to Pumba the other day about it, and we were playing at Leek away, and I think we were basically winning the whole game, and then essentially we lost, and I think we lost because I slipped a tackle on one of their big I think it was their second row. Yeah, we lost the game, but it was a catalyst for our good run at Bridgnorth after those years. So it's probably
So
the
if
worst.
anything, you influenced a decent period for Bridgnorth.
By being shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You do best, mate. It's what you do best.
So, what's your best rugby memory?
I'd probably say playing at Twickenham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk us through that then. What was that for?
That was for the Intermediate Cup final. We played Maidstone at Twickenham.
My end. That's another place which is a bit fucking grim and rough.
Is it?
Yeah.
They were a very good team on the day. But yeah, I think we must have had about, I don't know, I can't remember the figures, so if I've cock it up, it's not my fault, but we must have had about 3,000 to 5,000 people there watching Bridgnorth.
Oh, amazing.
That had gone down for the day.
All of Bridgnorth.
Yeah, it's not a big population, but there was a fair few people there. And obviously, as you run out through the tunnel, you stand there facing them. And obviously, Twickenham's huge, isn't it? And there's only a little bit that they're sat in, but they look small, but there was loads of people there. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And obviously, Bridgnorth comes up on the big screens and everything like that. So, and the flag was flying.
You know, when you're there, and Phil, there's a question for you as well. And I know there wasn't loads of people there, but because of the size of the stadium and the amount of people, obviously you don't often get to play in front of. Well, I don't often get to play in front of more than 10 people. But can you pick out faces when you're there?
No,
you couldn't.
You couldn't see anything really. If the ball was coming down the side of the pitch where the fans were, you couldn't hear anything. But as soon as it went to the other side, it was just deadly quiet. It was weird.
Yeah, it is odd.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it was like playing at Meadow Lane.
And that is the biggest pitch I've ever played on.
It is massive, isn't it?
It's
I've
horrible.
played on a replica. It is huge.
It's horrible.
I was going to say, how was it getting around the park?
I could have done with a Segway.
So good, this podcast.
Phil, could you ever pick people out in the crowd when you were there, when you were playing?
Yeah, but only at Meadow Lane, and I knew that my dad would be sat in pretty much the same seats week in, week out, so I just had to.
And it's quite obvious, isn't it? Quite obvious.
Dad, yeah. Well, no, because he'd have his hat on. He'd always have a hat on.
Oh, so. Right. That doesn't help.
Did you ever wave at him?
Yeah.
Like midway through the game?
Oh, no, not if I was playing, but I spent a lot of time on the bench as well, didn't I? So.
Have we got a serious question for Big Dog?
No, I didn't bother.
Thank God, I failed all the other questions.
Have you thought about the best player you played against yet?
I did, and then it's escaped me again.
You can say Terry if you want.
But I never played against him.
Oh, in touch.
Only in touch. In touch, yeah. Best player I've ever played against because I couldn't touch him.
Swatting at flies.
I reckon if he was a burger, though, I'd have touched him.
He wouldn't be alive.
Because you would have really wanted it.
Right, in that case, mate, it's been nice to chat to you.
And you guys.
Well, hopefully, next time there's a fixture between Pavs and Bridgnorth, you won't shit yourself. You'll be able
physically and mentally.
Literally, I was on the Friday morning. I was so excited, and then at about 3:00 on Friday afternoon, my belly just went. I was like, "Ooh, this
Everyone knows that feeling because it makes a weird gurgle noise, doesn't it?"
And then 2 or 3 hours later, it was like somebody was bleeding the radiator, and my stomach. Somebody had, like Phil and bloody Big Steve were trying to tackle me at once in the stomach area with their heads.
A handful of chilies. Yeah,
it wasn't good.
You lose any weight from it?
I did actually, yeah, quite a bit, yeah, £6.
Bloody hell, mate. Now, has that come back? Or
£6 in 12 hours, great.
Bloody hell, that's not bad, is it?
I was mega dehydrated.
Mega. Yeah, what had you eaten?
My wee was the same colour by the end of it. I was that dehydrated. I don't know. I don't know what I'd eaten. Don't know.
Well, we won't dwell on it because it could have been a long list. Like I said, thanks. Thanks for coming on, Big Dog. And we'll
Bark at you, runner.
do what I want now. Anyway, have a good one, mate. Enjoy the nighttime feed, and we'll speak to you later.
And you guys, nice to see you.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you.
Ta-da.
So, Phil, that was Big Dog. Lovely lad.
One of the greats. One of the absolute greats.
What a hero. I think those who know Big Dog outside of a changing room see him as probably a nice, lovely lad. If you've showered next to him, we touched on it on the podcast, disgusting.
He's like Mario, isn't he? He's a plumber.
He knows how to clear his system.
I think Big Dog joined the club at the same time I came back. I think, or unsurprisingly, he missed pre-season and rocked up, and got to know him quite quickly. Got on with him really quickly because we had kids about the same time, and just one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And he's honest, he's fun, and he's all about the team, and that's exactly what you need at a club like Pavs.
Yeah, and it's a weird one. It's not something it would come to mind very obviously with him, but he's quite a wholesome person. You see what you get, and he's always telling stories and cracking jokes to make other people enjoy what's going on, which is really good. Social events at the club. By the time this has come out, we'd have had a lovely dinner, so there's no point talking about that.
Oh, we would have. Me, you, candle.
Beautiful. I'm hoping there's a French band or something to come and woo me.
French band?
They're French are romantic, aren't they?
It's normally just someone playing a violin, isn't it?
That's what I meant.
I don't really do romance. Surprise, surprise.
You? Really?
The music is up to us, though, haven't we? We've been
given this playlist.
Yeah, we've been asked to provide a playlist for dinner. So I hope everyone likes drum and bass. And
then after about 10 o'clock, Sweet Caroline for half an hour. What else? What else do people want from a sit-down meal? But then on the 2nd of April, I think it's 2nd. No, it's Ladies' Day up at the club. Speaking to people like Emma Dummick yesterday, it's £12 a ticket. You come, and there's a lot of Prosecco flowing, from what I can gather.
Apparently so. I think it went down an absolute storm the other year. I think there was a lot of women up there at the end of the game. Some of them in better condition than others by the final whistle. It's always a good night for everyone. Loads of money raised, and that's the main thing. And everyone normally has a very good time. And
it's for those who've not done a ladies' day before, it's not just for the wives and the girlfriends and the mums. It's literally if you've got some friends who a lot of them don't even leave the clubhouse to watch the rugby. The rugby doesn't remember. So if you've got kids in the minis and you can leave them with dad or leave them with a babysitter, it's a perfect time to come up and just have a chat with some people and get to know more people around the club. So that's a really good one. £12 a ticket. Let's be honest, it's probably Emma Dimmick or Joy or Mummy Egg that you need to speak to for tickets. But if you can't find them, there is details on the website and on Facebook as well. And then the 25th of June, pencil the date in your diary. Big do. It is our, being Paviors, not mine and yours, Phil, 100th birthday.
It is.
Which will consist of a nice sit-down meal at the Crown Plaza in town.
Very posh.
Very posh. There's going to be some nice food, some nice drinks. It's going to be open to, I think it's going to be 16s plus. We're just checking that, but obviously you've got to be 18 to drink. But it will be a very good, from Paviors who still play, and probably not ones that are there to start it, but one's not far off, I imagine, in the early 2 decades. What?
This is like we're talking to Sam Green again. You've gone
I can't talk about women or dead people. But yeah, it really will be a big event. We need to make sure we get us there in numbers for it to be worth it as well.
I think it's a massive thing for the club. Like we've been running at this for a couple of years, haven't we? COVID's got in the way a bit of stuff we've been trying to do, and it will be an awesome night. You know, it's not often that as a Pavior you get to do a night in town and then go out in town.
No,
so it'll be huge night for everyone.
Yeah, from what I can tell, there's going to be no bollock speeches or anything like that. There's going to be sit down, enjoy each other's company, have some drinks, and then if you want, go into town. But obviously, more details will be released about the meal and prices, etc., later on in the next few weeks. Phil, let's come to that point in the evening again. Have you got any wise words for us today?
No.
No.
You made me think. No, I haven't.
No. My only thing would be if you're cleaning your bumhole, make sure no one's around because it sounds horrible.
It depends how you do it, but yeah.
Depends how you do it. Right. Phil, have a good day tomorrow. I'll see you at training. Irrelevant for this podcast. I always say something which is completely irrelevant for the podcast because it goes out after training. But have a good day and see you later. Bye.
Bye.